Hello and welcome to the December 2025 production audio wrap-up. I'm your host, Peter Schneider, and I'm here with co-host making his debut in front of the camera, Mr. Nate Martin, filling in for Nick Houston, who's a little under the weather. Hey, Nate, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and I just want to throw out there the hashtag #UnsickNick. I
Unsick
want him
Nick.
back, too. I'm sorry that I'm here, but, we'll bear with it.
We miss him terribly, but we're happy you're here. And coming to us from Atlanta is TK Edmondson. Hey, TK, how you doing?
Wonderful. Looking very seasonal Atlanta. So greetings.
I
Greetings
like
all.
representing Atlanta. And Brian Hansen. Brian, it is so good to have you as our special guest. I know you're a production mixer and you have an amazing YouTube channel. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about your YouTube channel, please.
Sure. Well, I am a location sound mixer here in Indiana, so I've traveled around, but I'm mostly in the Midwest here. And my kit is a Sound Devices 833 with WheezyCom wireless, and I do a lot of things for corporate, documentary, lots of sports. So right now I've done a lot of ESPN and Fox Sports, NBA, NFL, stuff like that. But I do all sorts of stuff. And I love Gotham Sound.
We love you. Thank you very much, Brian. So I came up doing documentary and, location sound for film and TV, and only got recently introduced to sports. And it's different. And I wondered if you could talk about some of the differences between that kind of sound.
Well, when you're doing documentary sound, you're doing mostly tracking of ISOs. Sometimes you're doing a mix for somebody's headphones somewhere, but most of the time you have a large microphone count and you're tracking ISOs. For sports, it goes between about as easy as you could get with one stick mic with a correspondent, and they're just talking back and forth to somebody that's somewhere else. And then it can get complicated to the point where, like, I've mixed 4 live handhelds or 4 live headset mics where they'll have a bunch of people in front of the camera and they'll just be talking like ESPN panel style. It's a lot different because you're doing a live mix and you better be on your toes. You better have your levels good. You better have your outputs strong. It's just a lot different. And then that's when you're really learning how to utilize like an auto mix situation, mix assist or Dugan assist, because you have to create a broadcast ready mix that's going straight down the pipe, which is very different than tracking for documentaries. So
Documentaries, there's always going to be a post-production process. And
correct.
Yeah, sports, it is what it is.
Sports, well, I've done it both ways. Like yesterday I was on a shoot. It was a feature piece for ESPN, and it was more traditional. It was like I flew 2 booms and 2 lavs, and it was all going to be post-produced and edited. But most of the sports work I do is live,
Right.
straight down the pipe, and you got to be ready. So.
And the distances, the scale is different, I find, like in terms of,
Yes.
where you are in relation to the truck and, where the talent is and sort of finding your way through these vast areas.
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm not doing a truck. Normally it's all live view or TV view. So when I worked for the NFL Combine, they had one of those fancy multi-channel TVUs where we were literally sending 4 cameras down through cell phone air to Bristol. And they were taking all 4 feeds in Bristol, meaning the headquarters of ESPN. And they were cutting the show in Bristol over a live view backpack. Wow. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What you can do with these transmission backpacks.
And it's your mix, though. They're not...
They're not touching it. Well, they might be adding some of their standard compression and limiting, but...
Sure.
I mean, they're taking your mix.
Right.
And I've listened back, to some of the feeds on YouTube afterwards, and I mean, it's my mix. You know? They're not changing it. And I'm not getting rehired if it's a bad mix. So...
All right, we can spend a lot more time talking, and we will,
Yeah, and if you want to hear more about, Brian working in sports, you got some great videos up on that YouTube channel, so that'll be linked down in the description. Please go check that out. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Basketball, volleyball, really great work there. Gotham end of year schedule. We are open next week on Monday, 12/28, through Wednesday the 31st for those last minute business purchases. Talking financing, whatever you need to do to close out your year as a production sound mixer, we're here for you. That is until 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Then our store will close. However, if you do want to place a web order until 11:30 p.m. Eastern time on New Year's Eve, so you'll have that last receipt of the year with the 2025 date on it. We are here for you, and that's what Gotham Sound's all about. So
that's web orders that we're standing by to process.
Yeah. Once the shop closes at 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve, please don't call TK.
Speaking of call me, though, get your submissions in. The Gotham Customer Choice Awards we want to hear what you guys have to say. So the products have been released and announced for 2025. The nominations are open, and you have a few days left. Make sure you hit the link, gothamsound.com/CCA, and that will end on the 31st of December. So you still have a little bit of time, but the public opening will open, the polls will open after that, as all the submissions have been in on the 31st. So make sure you let your voice be heard. If there's a product that you really love from 2025, let us know, and we'll get that in.
PSC is shipping their Zeus DIT, which is truly a amazingly monstrous power supply for a DIT card. Obviously, it'll work for sound mixers. Its complete power distribution runs worldwide AC voltage, regulated 28-volt DC at 600 watts, and 12 volts DC at 300 watts, multiple USB-A and USB-C power outputs, 3 redundant AC power supplies. So, the electrics may try to blow it up, but they will not succeed. Uses easy to remove smart batteries for airline travel, which I think is really cool. So you can travel worldwide, remove the batteries, check this Zeus DIT as luggage, but carry on your batteries for it. Available now, $5,320.
I mean, for the size of that thing, the versatility is just crazy.
Yeah.
And what is it taking up 2 rack unit slots?
Yeah, it's 2 RU. Yeah, plus a remote, like a remote control for it. Yeah, it's amazing.
I'd put that in one of those rolling traveler cases and call it a day.
Yeah.
And we love our DITs.
Yes.
They do crazy stuff.
They are the smartest people on set, I think.
When you see a good DIT doing their thing, it's like, man, that guy's in the zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Big news, the Ambient Lockit Bluetooth is now available. This is a timecode and sync generator with a Bluetooth interface. Allows for a remote control of your ACN devices via the LockitRemote app. And if you're already using the Lockit system, one additional Lockit Bluetooth is all you need to view and control all of your ACN devices. And it can monitor discontinued ACN devices. The LockitRemote app is available now for iOS, and it's coming soon, probably Q1 of next year, to Android.
Amazing. How much is it?
It is $869, which is honestly it's a steal for the versatility and being able to control.
That's great.
All your other ACN devices.
That's cool.
Something I'm pretty excited about. Going to be shipping really soon, and we're going to take your pre-orders now. But the Greater Divine. This is a POV powered speaker. It's got Dante integrated into this thing as well. If you're familiar with the Glensound products, then you probably know the original Divine, smaller version, does 4 channels, really sounds fantastic. So you're getting all of that plus more. This version has a 2-way 25-watt via PoE, and it's got a DC option as well to power it. So whatever you need to do there, you can remote it. You have that option now. It's got a separate DC input, like I just mentioned. It's also got 2 analog inputs, XLRs, and you can also network. So you're going to get, with the networking, 10 network channels of audio inputs. So this thing is super versatile. You can just basically just pop audio into it anywhere you need. And it comes with a VESA mount. So just plop it up on a mount, put it on one of your stands, and you're good to remote this anywhere. Sweet sound, Greater Divine.
Pretty popular. People are looking forward to it. So I love their stuff.
Yeah, I know a couple of pre-orders have already come in for it. People are excited for this product. And I mean, if you use the Divine, this is just a larger, literally, but also just more versatile.
The build quality on these things is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely amazing. And even on the kind of regular, the first Divine, it's fantastic. So anyways.
Yeah, we've got one
It
hanging up right
sounds
there,
so
right now.
good.
We do, and they sound good.
Yeah, they really do. They had DSP. I would
Cool.
maybe give it a shout over the Neumanns.
K-Tek just announced a new boom cable. If you've been using the old one, the KMBC1, they just launched a KBOC1, which is now 6 feet instead of 4 feet. It comes in a pair, and it's a good way to get your boom pole connected to your bag. I'm a huge fan of cables that are coily, or whatever you call it. I call them a telephone cord cable, but whatever. It's the best way to make sure that you're not pulling strain on your inputs and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of this type of cable. Pick one up, and you get some bongo ties. So, I mean, why not?
Amazing.
Yeah, I think it's great that it comes in a pair. It's always good to
Yes.
have a
Have a
backup, have a
backup.
spare.
Yeah.
I always order 2 cables anyway, so.
Yeah, this sounds like your kind of product then, Brian.
It does.
You got to have a backup, especially live. Like, that's the thing.
I know, man.
Yeah.
You just got to have a way. Like, when your stuff goes down, it's like, and they're looking at you, it's like, you better just pull another one out.
Just,
Be
yeah,
like,
no.
let's go.
It's already ready. Yep.
What are your guys' thoughts on the extension up to 6 feet on something that you're usually using in like a bag and kind of over your head? Do you think that extra 2 feet is like makes a huge difference? Do you think it's like a convenience and versatility thing?
I would say you're not always using it when you're holding, like, because I sometimes will use that coily cable just to plug something in, because it's the way I run my bag is that coily cable is always plugged in, so it's just ready for something, So maybe it'll come in handy if like
Yeah.
you just got to plug it in,
And I saw
not holding it.
there's that Instagram channel, 100 Side Projects. I just saw a post of his where he built this. It was designed to save time or save your shoulders for long interviews where you're just trying to do it off the cuff. But anyways, the idea is it's a pole that you put your boom pole on, so it sort of forms a T in a fulcrum. But yeah, you need a little extra
It's like
room.
the bending boom pole.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Audio-Technica wireless accessories. They have a remote LPDA antenna, which is 470 to 960 megahertz low loss. BNC output, 60 BI of gain. They've got a powered antenna that it's sort of architecturally friendly, so it can blend into like a boardroom or a meeting space. 470 to 990 megahertz, wall or ceiling mountable. They have distribution. They have band pass filters, 470 to 530 and 530 to 590, which I think are handy ranges, and as well as passive splitter combiners and inline RF boosters. So, definitely check out Audio-Technica's range of wireless accessories that are new to the market.
Well, I could say that wireless is a topic I could spend more time on talking about on my channel, because, I mean, wireless is so hard. And I think you've said, like, it's in the details, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think the irony of where we are now with all of this wideband wireless is that we have to think about, filtering, basically. We have to kind of, think about band planning, and then, following a band plan often comes filtering. There's every set has an AD that's standing next to the receive antenna queuing their 4-watt walkie-talkie, and you don't want that energy hitting your system, or you want to attenuate it as much as possible. So I'm a big fan.
the bigger set that you're on, the more you got to do it on. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm on a small set, sometimes my whip antennas can be fine, but then the bigger you get, you need stuff like this.
And then the funny thing with RF is, sometimes the bigger sets, the whip antennas, because they're less sensitive, sometimes help you out. I think that's sort of like where you really start to get into the physics of what's going on. Brian, with the sports stuff you do, you have to make sure you're not stepping on anybody else. You have rights holders consideration and all the.
They normally don't. People I work for don't even want me to turn on wireless.
Yeah.
They just want me to use a cord, because, like, I'll do 4 RE50s out to people on the court at an NBA court, and they just want cables. The producer will just like flip out if you turn on wireless. They're like, "Oh no, we don't want that," because they've all been traumatized by bad wireless.
Yeah, good. Well, hey, hard wires are reliable. That's the truth.
They are. They work.
Yep.
Already new from Audioroot, they've got these fun little Distro switch caps. These are little grooved aluminum caps that can go on all of the Audioroot power distro switches. They are sold individually. There's 7 different colors, right? So if you've got 7 different Audioroot power distros and you want each one to have a color for it, you can have them like the Power Rangers or the Voltron of power distro caps. I'm making these, 80s, 90s kid references because Nick's not here. I am the first Gen Z person on this show, and I just want to put that out there.
Thank God.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta express yourself. Bling is you gotta. It's a thing. Like people, we have workflows, right? That's what we really are. We carrying with the products we choose when we put these things in our bags. Color is now a part of that, so you can get a purple or an orange K-Tek bag. So, I mean,
Well, and when I put one of these Audioroot distros in my bag, it is the thing that everybody asks me about. Everybody. They're like, what is that thing? So then you add some colored switches to it, and it makes it cooler. Like, what is that thing? It's got colored switches.
unfortunately, the time has come for price increases. RFNU is first on the docket here. On most items, that is going to look like a 5 to 6% increase on January 1st. So if you have anything you've been eyeing, maybe the diversity fin, or you want to get one of those distro packages, go ahead and get your order in now before the 1st. You can lock in those prices before the increase comes into effect.
So for all the Tentacle users out there that run into some just crazy cameras that you don't even know how to get timecode into, Tentacle is hearing you, and they've just launched a USB-C timecode cable. And in the rehearsal, I was talking to these guys, and I've not run into a camera yet that does this, but TK, you said you have?
Oh, yeah, I use it all the time. So I've got one of those 17s with like a lens on it and everything, and I'll run audio straight into the iPhone with that same cable.
Okay. And does it put in like audio timecode, or does it put in?
Yeah, so I'm using the Blackmagic app. So if I'm running this out of, like, let's say the PR2 or another timecode device, it's going to read that timecode as an external input, and just it'll sync automatically. So using this cable allows you to kind of have a nice 50-50 workflow with Bluetooth and hardwire on those weird devices.
The funny thing is, timecode is an audio, LTC, longitudinal timecode, is an audio signal. So at its heart, this is just a USB-C audio device, which is cool because it lets lets TK do it double duty for timecode and audio into it. But also any camera that has USB-C audio in will, can use this cable either for audio or like those DJI Osmo or the action cameras. Like they'll do professional LTC timecode. They'll recognize it and sync their clocks to it. How accurate the sync is over the long term, those are different discussions. But for what it is, it's pretty good.
I've had people in my comments argue that timecode is not the audio person's responsibility. And I'm like, you are patently wrong. So they look at you and they want you to get timecode into their stuff. And it is your problem. So having one of these cables, it's important.
This is a lifesaver cable, in my opinion, as well.
Agreed.
In that regard.
One other use case I wanted to bring up with this cable is also for boom recorder and wild tracks. You can bring in timecode via USB-C into your laptop. And listen, to your point, Brian, I was trained that the sound department is responsible for sync. Now, this is back to the film cameras, and obviously, when there's an engineer in charge and so on, in other workflows, it's different, but absolutely, they always look to the sound department for the camera. It gets tricky.
Well, it's like if you look at a set, who else is going to bring that cable?
Yeah.
The first AC is not going to bring that cable.
Right.
The DPs aren't going to bring that cable, especially the higher you get, like when DPs are rocking like Aries and Venices and Reds. Like these guys that bring Reds don't even have their own cables.
Oh, yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, Wooden Camera, and there's a couple of great Mid 49 and a couple of great camera accessory manufacturers have stepped up and made nice adapters for audio, thankfully. But yeah, Brian, to your point, like, who else is dealing with this stuff? I just get frustrated because, you know, it seems to me the sound mixer is expected to deal with it for free, and that's not fair.
Yeah, and if anyone is a fan of Simon Hayes, raise your hand. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone know Simon Hayes, legendary sound mixer.
Mm-hmm.
He has a quote that I love. He says, "You'll get judged twice when you run sound. You're going to get judged when they're listening locally, and then you get judged when they're mixing in post. And if your stuff is out of sync, they're not blaming anybody else. The post-production people are going to be like, all this audio is out of sync and blah, blah. Well, they're blaming you, man. They're not blaming the DP. So get it together and get your time code together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with this stuff if you want to get rehired.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think there's a number of products that really just make you more efficient and therefore make you give the appearance and you know the actuality that you're helping the entire production out.
And I've actually had producers when I pull out, because I have a bag of timecode cables that's like, it's big. I pull out the cable, and I've had producers say, "Oh, we've never had an audio guy that had that cable." It's like, there you go.
Right.
I'm the guy.
Another incentive to having this cable for, you know, our wonderful listeners listening is the ever-changing landscape of filming, where they will pull out a camera that they have not discussed previously in an email or phone call, a text, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. We're excited to use new things, and we want to pull them out when we have the opportunity to do so. However, if you really want to save your bacon, the cable's available. Add it to your kit. At least when you get the job, you have the right tool for the job when the problem arises. So
the way that I do it with timecode cables is because you can't really have everything, but is if I get a job in, normally you have 1 or 2 days to like figure it out, and you ask what cameras they're using, and then you just go on Gotham Sound and you just order it, and then it should get there in time. You don't have to have everything right now, but like as you book jobs and you ask what cameras they're using, you better have those cables. So that's my opinion. And then you'll get over time a collection of cables.
Agreed. Yeah. Yep. So Zoom has some new products that are now shipping. TK, you and I heard the PodTrack P4 Next recorder at NAB here in New York. And it was pretty crazy, I thought. It had a really good noise reduction algorithm. I mean, look, this is a prosumer product. It's got no balanced outputs. It's meant for, you know, up to 4 people doing a podcast. But what it gives you and for the price, it's pretty amazing. How did you feel about it when you heard it, TK?
Pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, this is why everyone's talking about this. Mm-hmm. Now it makes sense. And I think it's just like part of the changing landscape. Like, the tech is getting so good that we're able to have these options at a prosumer level. And yeah, it doesn't have like balance outputs, but like you still are able to get this into someone's hand with less experience, and they can put out something with, you know, they feel good about. I think that's really what this whole thing is about. So giving access to those kind of features, and then if you need to upgrade, then give us a shout. We got that too.
Yeah. And I mean, these types of things are good even if you are using high end. Like, I have an 833, but honestly, some of these units could be integrated with it, right? So like if I wanted to create a headphone mix for people, like if I was doing a podcast and I wanted them to have their little mix minus headphone mix with all the knobs and everything, like I could output ISOs out of my 833 into this, and then give people their little headphone mixing station, you know? I mean, it can integrate with lots of stuff.
Absolutely, and I think that it's always interesting to see how we can work with these prosumer products and integrate them. And You know, I think frankly having a simpler option for people is great, and you know, it doesn't get much simpler than, you know, 2 knobs, you know, 1 knob for your volume, 1 knob for your headphone volume.
Yep.
AA batteries, call it a day. USB-C input, you know,
Yep.
power it on. Let's go.
Right. I mean, it even does the mix minus on the USB-C and the phone interface.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever. They also have the H6 Studio Handy recorder with 4 inputs, 6 tracks. It's a handheld recorder with F series preamps. And they have the L6 Max and L12 Next digital mixer recorders, which are really designed for music recording. But, you know, as Brian and I were just talking about, I'm sure we can figure out other uses for them as well.
And Zoom is putting the flag and the foot down that these are all 32-bit float recorders. You don't need, what do you need the faders for? Just kidding.
Knobs, baby. Knobs.
Now you're just triggering all of us. Thank you.
New from Hawkwoods, the Smart Audio Battery. They have made their own 95 watt-hour, 14.4 volt smart lithium-ion battery with standard SMBUS contact configuration, just like on the Inspired Energy ones, if you've seen those. Or really, I mean, what, the 80s got some. Seems like everyone's got a battery in the game. These single channel charger, well, these come with, or you can buy separately, a single channel charger, optimized for these batteries, but also compatible with all the other ones we've discussed. I think maybe the real niche with these ones is for use in Britain and the United Kingdom. You don't have to pay any shipping or tariff fees if you're there already, and they have that smaller watt hour size in case you do travel with them.
Yeah, I have a warm and fuzzy place in my heart for Hawkwoods, the company. They were the first, you know, to my mind, they kind of invented the NP1 cup. You know, they were certainly the first brand that I used that had like the Hiroshi output, multiple Hiroshi outputs, and mine, I remember, had a 4-pin XLR female for my Fosdix PD4. This is ancient history.
Okay, so we're talking before I'm born era.
Yes. Yes. You know, it's nice to see them around, that they're a current brand and that, you know, they're keeping current. They've come out with a number of innovative products over the years. You know, I do wish, speaking frankly, probably too frankly for this style of podcast, I wish they had a U.S. distribution because some of their products were quite clever. They were the first ones to come out with external DC power for MacBooks, as far as I know. They had this really cool battery form factor for camera systems that went on the 19mm rails. Like they've got a good history.
So this wasn't started by the Talk to a girl. This has been around for a while.
This is not the Talk to a smart audio battery. No, we can't talk about that.
Right, but what we can talk about is Neumann. They have released a new update, and this is pretty huge, we'll say. I won't say greater, but huge we'll go with. Reference immersive monitoring environment. So we are now in the era where we have headsets we can wear and really, really take it to the next level to immersify ourselves with our environment. So spatially, with sound, we're now there. So Neumann has introduced this. It's their 5.1 option they have available. They also have a 7.12 option now available. So if you really need to have that environment, speakers everywhere, Neumann is a great place to look. I'm a Neumann praiser. I'm going to sing it from the mountaintops on this one. Their DSP is really, really great. I would encourage anyone to try it, give it a listen. This update also is going to give you full responsive immersive head tracking. So if you have a compatible product, you now have that option. There's OSC compatible products as well, so check that out.
So what's really crazy about this to me is that you can use this without having to have the digital audio workbench open now on Mac only. You could do this for playback if you've got the right speaker configuration and everything. Like this could be used pretty interestingly, besides just home theater use in theory.
Yeah, and that's a great point. They also have an iPad version of this app, so hopefully we see that rolling down the line and we see another update where you can control this with your iPad connected to the same network. So Really, really powerful stuff. Yeah, I highly encourage you guys to try it. Neumann's really putting some good work out there for you.
One of the things we always get asked to do as location sound mixers is hiding microphones. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Ursa just launched a brand new set of Stickies, hypoallergenic double-sided tape with easy peel tabs. Premium version adds an extra 0.5 millimeters of padded foam. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it can make a difference. You know, anything you can do to minimize that rustle. Okay, you can get them in circles, zeros, squares, mini mounts. They're now shipping, available in January. I wasn't trying to hide mics back in the OG days, but I know the only way you used to be able to do it was with some gaff tape, right? Like what did they call that, Peter?
I remember the triangles that people used to make.
The gaff tape triangle sandwich.
Yeah, that was a revelation. And then, when the rubber mount for the COS 11 came out, oh my God, that changed a lot. But yeah, I mean, there were like gaff tape, top stick triangles, and then, used to put
moleskin
and that was a big step up. I mean, I remember going to Ray's Beauty Supply on 8th Avenue to get, you have to get the top stick and the moleskin and all that stuff. I think it's amazing that we have all this specialty stuff now.
I'm a fan of just however you do it, just get that lav hidden and sounding good, like, because there's so many ways to do it.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think the great thing about all these accoutrements is it lets you prep so much stuff ahead of time. So by the time you get to the talent,
you can prep all your mics if you know what you're doing. You can prep them at home and just deploy. So
there's always that moment where you see talent coming on the set and you sort of like quickly make up your mind. And
you freak out.
You're
like, oh my gosh.
You freeze for 10 seconds and then someone has to tap your shoulder.
And there's different workflows, right? So obviously feature films and episodics, you have some familiarity with the wardrobe ahead of time. I think, Brian, you and I are talking about where you're doing it in documentary situations and you're expected to hide the love or talk show type situations.
On this topic, the only tip I have is, as soon as you hide a love, you need to be listening to it. Don't be lazy and hide it, and then don't put your headphones on.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
because those things can make noise fast.
Yes.
They can fall off. They can. I mean, obviously all the sticky stuff is supposed to not fall off, but sometimes it does.
Yes. No, that's right.
Better be listening.
That's right. You've come to the segment that we call Tips of the Month, and my tip of the month is an RF install that I did at a TV station where we were replacing older gear. And it's interesting, I saw the RF scans and that their old gear was really problematic in terms of what the spectrum showed. Showed just a huge noise floor. I didn't pay too much attention to it because we were replacing it, and so I kind of just skipped over it. But a colleague that was with me said, no, we got to dig into this because something's not right. And he looked behind the rack, and sure enough, they were taking the summed output of multiple transmitters from an active transmit combiner, which is normal, but then putting it into an active splitter that's normally designed for using receive radio mics. So, of course, what I was seeing on the scan were the complete overload as these RF amplifiers designed for microvolts of power were just getting hammered with milliwatts of power. So I think my tip of the month is don't be lazy, I guess, is, really take the time to understand what's going wrong, because if I had left it like that and the client needed to use it for some reason, they would have stepped on the new equipment that I was installing. So I think it's worth it. So, simple passive splitter, clean that all up. But that's my tip of the month.
Nice. Yeah, it doesn't sound necessarily like don't be lazy. It's more of, pull every thread.
Pull every thread. Yeah.
Follow the chain
fair
down the line.
Fair. I just was like, oh, it's going to be decommissioned. maybe they'll keep it in the rack, but it's going to be turned off. So why am I'm not going to Sherlock Holmes this. But it literally took my colleague 5 seconds of peering behind the rack. And,
It's like, we need 0 deduction for this one.
yeah.
It's all right. Sometimes you just have to acknowledge that you're the Watson in a situation. Speaking of, I'm about to talk to you all about Nerf darts. Now, I know there's a couple of new products out there in the world, and that are, for the antenna savers, so they don't bend or, get uncomfy for your talent. If you want to try a device like that out, and you have nephews or small children, TK, this one's for you. Pick up the Nerf darts around your house, especially this time of year, and just take the little cap off of them and wrap them around an antenna. These are worth trying out in a pinch, especially. If you're not quite sure how to save your antenna. It could also be good for storage. We want to make sure they don't bend if you have them in like a loose bag or something like that. This is a cool tip, and it was inherited from Unsick Nick. Let's bring him back. I miss him.
Oh, yeah.
I love this. So when I can't make it to Gotham Sound, I'm just gonna raid my kids' toy chests.
There you go.
This is the information we need. Tips. Solid.
Yeah, don't use their walkies, though. The kids have horrible walkies.
All my Nerf supplies are gone. My kids are older. It's funny. They used to get me Nerf guns for like Christmas. I'd take it out of the package. I'd start shooting them, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You got me a Nerf gun."
My tip of the month is just a reminder. It's the end of the year. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves. And this is applicable across the board on a lot of different planes, if you will. But whether it's taking that gig and saying, committing to something that maybe you don't necessarily have the full knowledge base to take on, or other steps in that production process in terms of maybe getting the gear or using gear that you're not familiar with. Just be honest with yourself, ask for help. Questions are okay. They're, allowed. And yeah. We're all human, so use it as a learning opportunity.
Love that.
Yeah, and do not take a piece of gear out of the box on set. Okay. Don't just open it up and like start using it, right?
But it's got open gate. Come on, man.
Yep.
At least turn it on the day before.
It said it would work.
So yeah, my tip is not about gear. My tip is all about networking. Okay. As I'm out there freelancing full time, I run into people that say the following. They say, "I can't get any gigs," or "I can't find anybody to hire me," or you just fill in the blank, right? And I'm just like, I usually respond with a couple questions. I'm like, "Well, where are you at?" And some people look at me like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, are you on Production Hub? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Do you have a website?" Right? Because networking, a lot of people will say it's all about word of mouth and, "Oh, everybody knows who I am." And it's like, no, they don't. I meet new people every week that I had no idea who they were until I met them. And I'm a fan of a multi-pronged approach when you're out there freelancing. Yes, as you get more gigs and you meet more people, you can get a lot of word of mouth, right? But you have to keep that pressure on the incoming. The traditional salesperson will say prospecting, right? You need to be prospecting. You need to be on these sites. You need to make sure that your website is not like last updated in 2005. You need to make sure your Production Hub profile is correct with an actual good picture of you. You need to make sure you're on LinkedIn also with a good picture of you. You're on Instagram and you're taking those behind the scenes photos and you're putting them up and look at me. And, because what I like to say is it's not my gear that's getting me hired. It might be my gear that gets me rehired as long as I know how to work it. But the first intro is just, it's not about the gear. It's about getting yourself out there and being seen. Don't be invisible.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great tip, and it's like kind of unilateral for, I mean, really anyone who's an independent contractor in any degree. You know, if people don't know you and your brand exist, how are they going to know to hire you over anyone else?
Right.
And I like too the thing you mentioned about being a friendly face and a warm personality while working too, and that can go a long way in building those working relationships.
Yeah, you can bring a $50,000 kit, and you can be a grumpy person to work with.
And that's what people remember.
They remember the grumpy.
Yeah, I think that this is a good segue also to plug your YouTube channel, Brian, because
All right, cool.
one of the things that I know I felt almost, within minutes of watching your videos is that this is a guy that I would want to work with. And I think that's huge, because so much of what we do on set obviously is technical, but the majority of it is personality.
It is personality. And I fight it too, because I'm an introvert and sometimes I don't want to talk to people. but you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Be personable. People wonder why introverts create YouTube channels, and it's like, well, honestly, it's a lot of lonely time when you're shooting YouTube. It's like you're just looking at a camera and hoping someone's listening. But
And then you're spending like 2 to 3 to 9 times the amount of time in front of a computer screen fine-tuning it. So you get a lot of alone time.
right.
Oh, sales. This is, we got to get through some sales. There are a lot of sales going on right now. Check the website for...
Sales are awesome.
Yeah, they're good. Check the website for description below for full details. I like this sale. Zaxcom is giving away a free VRX1 VHF IFB receiver at $545 value with select Zaxcom bundles. K-Tek has 20% off on a bunch of stuff. Deity, $200 on their wireless and time code and recorders. RF Venue up to $760 off on Distro 5 bundles. And offers on Clearcom, Cloud, Sennheiser, Sony.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Check out the website, see what you need. Alrighty, another thing we wanted to shout out here at the end of the month is our school visits. The past few months, we've had students and classes from NYU, Sarah Lawrence, the Motion Picture Tech program, Brooklyn College. We even went up to Vassar College. We being the royal we, meaning Nick went there, and hopefully that's not how we got sick. But we also have got the Astoria Film Festival lab and a lot of these student organizations in our community that have joined us in the office, or we have gone on site for demonstrations, tours, show off the gear, the equipment, and also what our side of the industry looks like. So if you are an administrator or a teacher for a high school, college, a film festival, any kind of group, contact us, set up a visit. We'd love to pass on our experience and our knowledge and welcome fresh faces to the world of production audio.
Yeah, and if you're a student and you want to come visit or suggest to your school, we'd love to see you. Absolutely.
I would say just go visit. Because I went over to Gotham in November. I was in New York on a shoot, and I was like, I got to get over to Gotham. So I would recommend it. Get over there.
Yeah.
Meet the people. It's awesome. It's a great place.
Extend your trip by a day. You don't need to get home that badly. We've got 3 airports in this city pretty much. So,
we're 20 minutes from one of them. So, yeah.
Just hang out with us for a day.
But make sure you expect to spend some money, because when you get in there and you're like, oh my gosh, there's stuff. There's stuff.
We do like to have stuff on the shelves.
And I can't resist the top stick, just personally.
I know. It's like all the supplies lined up. It's like, oh my gosh, I need one of these. I need one of these. I need one of these.
Last shout out of the year to join the Wireless Microphone Spectrum Alliance. Anybody that uses wireless frequencies, makes use of wireless spectrum for entertainment. So that means wireless mics, comms, IFBs, queuing, intercoms. The Wireless Microphone Spectrum Alliance represents your interests to the federal government. This is speaking specifically to our U.S. Viewers. So please check them out. We'll have links in the description. It's organized by Shure, but definitely worth joining. There's some updates that We heard at the last meeting, I'm not quite sure is ready for public consumption yet, but exciting stuff. They really are fighting for our interest. So give them a check out and join. It's free to join.
And it seems like a coalition of extremely knowledgeable people on the subject matter.
There's some super, there's some super great knowledgeable people. Yeah, it's definitely, it's great to join the meetings and just absorb. That's what I do. Thank you for taking the time to watch with us. It's truly an honor. We all get compliments about this from customers, competitors, manufacturers. We love it. Truthfully, this is a labor of love to put together. It's how we learn. We love having guests. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Please check us out on all of our social media channels. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. And thank you, Nate, for last-minute fill-in. Thank you, Jared. And thank you, TK. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year.
And we got more videos for you in the new year.